Hey guys, HDvee here. Now, shiny Pokemon were a great addition to the franchise after being introduced back in Generation 2, with the popularity of them blowing up to the point that a lot of people spend hours on end just to find one. I must say it is a great feeling seeing the sparkles on differently coloured Pokemon after spending ages looking for it. However, that isn't the case with all Pokemon. With some Pokemon, their shiny form looks exactly like its original form, which really puts a downer on finding the shiny version. With that being said, today's video takes a look at 10 shiny Pokemon who look exactly the same as their original form. Let's get started. Okay, so coming in at number 10 we have Pichu in its shiny form. I know its evolutions Pikachu and Raichu's original form look a lot similar to their shiny forms, but in my eyes Pichu's is a lot more similar. As we can see from Generation 2 to Generation 6, Pichu's original and shiny form have been pretty much similar in every aspect. The only difference is that the shiny form of Pichu's yellow is a little bit darker, and also the cheeks are a little bit darker with the colour as well. But at the end of the day it looks very similar, and I think GameFreak could have done a lot better with this Pokemon shiny design. Coming in at number 9 we have Basculin. Literally the only difference between this Pokemon's original form and its shiny form is, well, nothing. Just take a look at the picture. Literally it's just a little bit brighter with the shiny form. If you were fishing for this Pokemon and the shiny form appeared and you looked away for a second, you would probably still run because there is no clear difference between these two Pokemon. Coming in at number 8 we have Abre. Now Abre is already really difficult to catch because obviously it teleports after throwing one Pokeball at it, but its shiny form is very similar to its original form, so it's not even that much of a reward if you do find this Pokemon shiny. Obviously Alakazam looks a lot more different than its original form, but we're talking about Abre on here. Obviously all we can see is that it's just a much paler yellow than its original form, and it's been that way since Generation 2 onwards, and I'm pretty disappointed with this Pokemon's shiny form, seeing as I quite like Abre's evolution line. Coming in at number 7 we have Scyther. As we can see from Generation 2 onwards, there's pretty much no differences between this Pokemon's original form and its shiny form. Yeah, there's a little bit greener as the shiny form, but obviously it can't be exactly the same. But Scyther being a really good Pokemon in my eyes, not obviously competitively, but just the design of it, I think they really failed with this Pokemon's shiny form. Coming in at number 6 we have Togetic. Literally the only difference between this Pokemon's original form and its shiny form is where the little triangle things is on its body are just the different colours swapped around. So obviously where the red is on the Generation 6 picture it becomes blue, and that's literally the only difference. There's a slight change with the whiteness, it's a little bit more cream-like, but that is literally it, and they've really not even bothered with this Pokemon shiny, which is really unfortunate because the whole Togepi line's shiny forms are pretty similar to Togetic's. Coming in at number 5 we have Leafeon. It pains me to say it because obviously this is an evolution, but just look at the shiny form, it literally looks no different to the original form. Yeah, it's a bit more greener and the yellow is a bit more dominant, but that is literally it, and it is very unfortunate. Glaceon's shiny form is similar in the way that there's not many colours, but I wasn't going to use 2 spots on the list for practically the same Pokemon. I know they're not the same Pokemon, but you know what I mean, they're both evolutions. But yeah, these small differences rewards Leafeon with the number 5 spot in today's video. Coming in at number 4 we have Dugong. As we can see, the only difference between Dugong is that it's a little bit more creamy on its shiny form. Obviously they didn't really have much to do because the whole Pokemon's body is just plainly white, so they couldn't really make it loads of difference, but they could have made it like red or purple or something just to make it different in a way. Because obviously as we can see in Generation 2 it looks exactly like it does in Generation 6. The colours are exactly the same. The cream wasn't really introduced until Generation 3, but this Pokemon's shiny form is pretty disappointing. Coming in at number 3 we have Persian. Persian and its shiny form look exactly the same. Literally the difference is that small that it can't even really be considered a shiny, and it's been that way since Generation 2. In fact, the only difference is the shadow on Generation 2's picture. That's literally the only difference, that being pink instead of black. Look how similar they are. The ears, I guess you could say, are a small difference with the shade of pink, but at the end of the day this is a very bad shiny form, and to say how difficult shiny Pokemon are to find, Persian is not going to be on anyone's to-do list anytime soon. Coming in at number 2 we have Garchomp. Now this is an incredibly good Pokemon competitively and design wise. Unfortunately its shiny is just awful. I know its Mega Evolution shiny is very good, but just the standard form of the Pokemon Shiny is just, I don't know, it just doesn't do the Pokemon any justice. In Generation 4 and 5 they look exactly the same. In Generation 6 the blue's a little bit more darker, but that's literally it. I mean, it's purple, but you know what I mean, it's a little bit more darker. But really, they have not done this Pokemon any justice with supposedly how good it is in the competitive scene, and it's really disappointing. Claiming the #1 spot in today's video though is probably what everyone already knew, is Ganga. Ganga has got to have one of the worst shiny forms in just out of every Pokemon. Obviously in Generation 2, 3 and 4 it was quite a bit of a difference because Gengar was more pink and light purple, but as Generation 5 and 6 hit they changed that into a more darker purple, and its shiny form just looks exactly the same. Literally there are no differences. The only thing that really saves this Pokemon though is that its Mega Form Shiny is very different from the original form Shiny, but that's literally it. Just the normal standard Gengar Shiny form is pretty poor and is really disappointing. But with that wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching guys, have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video.